Good afternoon and welcome to The Joy is in the Journey. I'm Gina and I am here to talk about happiness. Yes, joy, imagine that. It is an inherent quality. So, in other words, joy is exactly where you are all of the time, but we don't always experience it. I know that it's where you are because it's a divine attribute of God. Spirit is unchangeable and it is all there is. Therefore, it is within me and each one. We have the opportunity to tap into it at any given moment on our journey. So I ask you, are you experiencing the journey along, the joy in your journey today? Or have you been consistently doing the next right thing or doing the best you can or waiting? See, what I call it is destination happiness. In our society of bigger, better, faster, more, we're always looking for, well, when I get there, then I'll be happy. When I have the house, when I have the car, when I have the right relationship, then I'll be happy. It's not about when we achieve something. That joy is inherent. And we get to, in every moment, choose that. So every week I bring in a different guest. And today I have the joy of music. I am so grateful. We have live music today, let alone the light that is bringing it forth. Today I have Wendy DeMos, who's coming to us all the way from Vancouver, and she's going to sing some songs for us. It was a blessing a couple of weeks ago to have her on the Peace Circle. And, she has beautiful music, a beautiful message, and she does it her way. She has her own special way of bringing good into the world. So without any further wait, I am bringing you Wendy DeMos. Good afternoon, because it is actually afternoon where you are. Just made it. You're coming to us from Vancouver. So we're on the other coast, basically, opposite coasts.
Right.
I'm in Rhode Island, for those that don't know. So welcome to The Joy is in the Journey. And I found you because of you were on New Thought Media Network with Laura Topper. Yes. And your beautiful music and your beautiful light. So welcome to The Joy is in the Journey.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Gina. Thank you for your lovely introduction.
We had a great time. It was 2 weeks ago, right? It was 2 Mondays ago.
Yep.
We had you on live, and it was wonderful. You have a piece about you that is beautiful, and I'm sure that has to do with your yoga background. You have that piece within you that just exudes. You have that light, and I'm grateful to have you here. So the first thing I always ask is usually, what brings you joy? And I can see that in music for you. Without even asking you the question, has music always brought you joy?
Yes, came from a musical family, and it's kind of my place to go for joy. It's my place to go when I'm crying and need comfort. It's my go-to place. Yes.
It's almost like a friend in a way. It has its own, there's a companion there sometimes.
Truly, yes. Yes. I remember when I was first learning, it was this guitar. It's been with me many years. Then learning and being at work, I had a 9-to-5 job, and I just couldn't wait to get back home and hold my guitar, like my relationship with my guitar. Yeah.
Just that comfort.
Yes.
It's like your own blanket in some ways.
Yep. It's always there for me when I need it.
Music for me, while I cannot play it, and singing, not so much, but I love music. It fills me in a way that makes me realize I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. So I have playlists for different moods, and I have different things that come out, and it's a gift to be able to be with people with music as well, because there's a different connection on the feeling level. Just like art of any kind, when you look at it, it brings it out emotions. More than anything, to me, I think that music does that because it gets vibrationally because that's all we are anyway.
Right.
It goes to a deeper level. So I would love for you to start us out with a song.
Oh, I'd love to.
So by all means, I'm gonna give you the spotlight, and you start us out with a song.
All righty. Well, we were talking earlier, and this is a song uh, about creating a home base. Well, first of all, I work also sometimes in the downtown east side of Vancouver, which apparently throughout North America is per capita the place where there's the most addicted and the most homeless. So it's a hard place to be sometimes, and also really fulfilling. And I was just imagining these homes filled with people healing, uh, ideally from the downtown east side, but anywhere, from anywhere. So it's called the House of Healing. If you ever come to my home, I'll sing this to you so I can welcome you to my home, Gina. May this be your house of healing. May this space fill you up somehow. Let the mirrors show you your worth. The walls your guide, the floor your earth. It's your home, here you will see the precious one that's in front of me. It's your life, there is no blame, so let the tears fall again and again. May this be your house of healing. Here your pain is seen and known. May your heart be strong and open. You are loved and not alone. It's your home, here you will see the precious one that's in front of me. It's your life, there is no blame, so let the tears fall again and again and again. May this be your house of healing. May you know your heart is strong. Nourish and heal yourself so you can offer your own song. It's your life, here you will see the precious one that's in front of me. It's your home, there is no blame, so let the tears fall again and again and again. Healing for me anyway has been lots of tears and again. And here's an antidote for it. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I hope you're joining in, singing along with me. I love, try this, me. I love me. Really mean it. I love me. Doing the best I can. I love me. I love me.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
thank you.
I, I love you. I do. There's such a beauty in the kindness of your words. And as we were speaking the past couple of times, you do several different things, and we talked about it kind of went in different ways. And I was telling you one of my favorite songs that I had heard and I love, and I even saw it online again and I listened to it, was You Are Safe. And that's what it reminded me of. Is very similar to this song, that feeling of people want to be seen. People want, especially right now, where we're hiding ourselves with masks, and it's a different world than it's been, and things just don't feel the same as they did. We don't, and especially just having for us gone through the anniversary of 9/11, there's a lot of seeming division, especially in the United States, but all over the world. There's only one. There's really only one, and it's coming to that place of love and being able to say that I love you, no matter who it is. I don't have to like what someone's done, but it is in that place, in that vibration of knowing that love, that we ourselves are healed, that we get the opportunity to be the best versions of ourselves as well. And, we were chatting and I had asked you if you always did music. And I loved that. I said, have you always played all of your life? And the irony of your answer, you have to tell people, what was your answer?
Yeah, I played music all my life except when I was married.
And I just like gasped back. And it is such a, unfortunately, too often in relationships, we can lose ourselves.
Yep.
Sometimes it's in a job, with a relationship with that. Sometimes it's in becoming a parent and trying to do what we think is the right thing, which the irony of that is we're teaching them not to be their true selves. We can get lost sometimes in the care of others. That's part of why that last part of your song with I love me, it's a lot of people have difficulty with that.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to say I love you with your flaws or seeming flaws than it is to say I love me and accept my own.
True that.
There's so much power in that.
That's why I started. Well, no, I just started with that song. I started out with I love you because I understand that it's easier for people to say that. And then once they're going with that, then introduce I love me. Wow.
What's been your experience when you do that? What do you see in the audience when you sing a song like that? What is the experience back?
Oh, I feel filled up. And I feel like the transition is gentle so that they can actually conceptualize the idea that they love themselves, that they are worthy of singing about, and we all are worthy. And I mean, I've done my own struggles through it all, so I know from whence I speak.
There's so much power in that. It was just, it's like mirror work. Louise Hay, I love Louise Hay, and she talks about the practice of mirror work, where we would look ourselves in our eyes and we do our affirmations and we claim the truth of ourselves. Beautiful. And as a life coach, I encourage that, and I talk about that a lot in my workshops. But it is hard for a lot of people to do that self-care and trust and love themselves right where they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I've asked them in the audience to just say, look at your neighbor and declare, I love me, which is as similar as a mirror. So there's a mirror created and you're owning it. And they have my permission because, you're in the concert, so you got to do. So it's like giving them permission, but just such beauty emanates from people when they're really declaring they are worthy and beautiful. And
there's a lot in that. And it seems, to some, it would seem so simple. And then to others, it would be so hard. I've had people break down in tears because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds, what seems so simple, they really couldn't say they loved themselves or even liked themselves.
Yeah.
You know, we are unfortunately, we're raised in a society where, at least years ago, it's much better than it was, but women are now in this place of embracing their power more than they ever have in the past. I've
Yeah,
worked
that's
with
for
a lot
sure.
of people that have been that have been in difficult circumstance because they couldn't understand why they couldn't fit it all in. They were trying to do all the things that their parents had done before as stay-at-home moms. They were trying to be the stay-at-home mom while working full time. And one of the things we forget is all of the role has changed. Yes, children still need to be raised and loved and cared for, but everything in society is very different than it was before. And it's finding our own ways to the best of our abilities. And on that note, I wanted to talking about women and their power. I Tell us about your festival, because it's fabulous, the whole concept of it, and just tell us about your the festival.
Well, thank you, Gina. I'm delighted to speak about a festival that I feel divinely led to create. And listen up, this is what it's called: the Sacred Sexual Music Festival.com. If you check that website, it's all there. And you'll see it came as a result of a response to the Me Too movement and the Harvey Weinstein era. It felt like a void had been created. All kinds of things were involved. Can we even flirt anymore? What, our bodies are they, okay? People have done such, horrendous things in the name of sexuality. How can we change that? And I have my own stories of my own Me Too. And so many of us women have, and men too. We all have experienced it, no matter what side of the you are on. It's it needs to shift. That's basically what I felt so strongly about, and I was really kind of scared to first mention it because oh gosh, what will people think? And I mentioned it to a couple of trusted friends, and they said, oh, that is such a great idea. That's, I'll help you whatever you need. And so that gave me the strength and to go ahead and create this festival. It started in 2018 in Vancouver, and it's been held in Winnipeg and Edmonton. We're looking at doing it in the interior of British Columbia, my province. We call them provinces, and in the interior, and then another one in Vancouver, and then a virtual. We started doing them virtually last year, and it was wonderfully successful. People from around the world speaking and listening and learning, because it's got such a variety of topics. But the main thing about everything is that it's safe, and it's respectful, and it's honoring.
And again, for those, it's sacredsexualmusicfestival.com, right?
That's it. Yeah. And
And
it's
it is about, our, whether it's the divine feminine or masculine. I mean, we all have both, but in addition to that, it's just honoring that sacred self.
yes.
We have this, our we can see it in all of our TV shows. We can see it in every magazine. We see sex everywhere. But you start talking about the sacred aspect of it, and all of a sudden, there's a pause there, because there's an honoring in it as opposed to just an act.
Yes.
And that's what's unfortunately seems to have been missing. So it's so important that we remember that it is sacred, that we are sacred. These body temples are sacred. It's housing divine. That divine power is right there. And it's such a gift to be able to bring that out. And I was saying, so you're a social advocate, an activist, and you looked at me kind of, I guess I am. I guess that, and music is a beautiful way to do that, because it gives you an opportunity to do it in a loving way without any kind of blame or accusation. It's just about information and wisdom.
Yeah,
So do
that's
you
the
have
intent.
Can you give us a song around that?
Well, we were talking about safety, and that's so important. For example, people ask, what is this festival? Is there nudity? No, there's none, because that would require consent from everyone who would be participating, and that's hard to get, and it's not necessary. We can still be, it's an informative, delightful event that's based on safety. So here's a song about safety. Oh, beloved one, know that I'm with you. I've got your heart in my hands. We'll get through, oh sweet one. Home of my heart, I'll hold you when you cry, and when the night feels too dark, you are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. My angel, let me tell you more. Until you know, until you see, you're the ocean, I'm the shore. Oh dear one, I hear you now. Forgive me that it took so long. Let me show you now. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. I hope you're singing along. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. Maybe put your hands over your heart. Close your eyes, go inside and really direct these words to your inner self. You ready? Here we go. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. You are safe. You are safe.
So beautiful. Just so beautiful. Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
I particularly love that song. It's so it's such a lovely reminder that no matter what we are, like life's got us.
Mm.
Life, which is, divine, whatever you may call it, has us. There's nowhere to go because there's only one. And
Mm.
it's so important not only to remember that, but also to remind each other that, reminding each other and showing that kindness. Like you said, as you walk through Vancouver, there's a lot of homeless, there's a lot of people that are not in the circumstance we want. Or when we look at our southern border and we see how people are trying to flee from where they were just for a better life and what's happening. It's hard to imagine how bad it needs to be to get to be at that place. I often take for granted the warm bed or the cool air conditioning or whatever it may be that I get to be comfortable in life. Not just safe, but comfortable. you
Yeah.
know and there's so much joy that we miss in the everyday things. There's a beautiful view along the way, but we need to pay attention.
Yeah.
How many times in our lives have we looked back and said, if I only knew then what I knew now, how much more we'd enjoy it, right?
Yeah. But I figure that's the point, isn't it? Growing, another growth moment.
A friend of mine, and I love the saying, is AFCO, another growth opportunity. And that's what life is. And
Yeah.
sometimes we like them, and sometimes they're growing pains. And either way, it's okay. It's our
Yeah.
attitude about them that makes it, that's our perception of good or bad. But nothing is, because we outgrow where we are sometimes.
Yeah.
So I want to remind people that we are live and that they're welcome to ask questions. They can put it right in the chat if there's anything that they'd like to know. And I also want to make sure people know that that song in particular that you just played, "You Are Safe," you're looking to put that out on this video. You're actually looking to actually create that as, so that we can download it and we're able to actually get that and record it.
Yes.
So people can go to your website, which, we want to make sure, I'm going to put it up there a couple of times, but I want to make sure people know that they can reach out to you. And you have it in as far as your thing, but there we go. chantyourheartopen.com. And they can go there and you can find all the links to your different things, as well as the Sacred Sexual Musical Festival. But they can see all that you're doing, and there's links to all of that. But there is also a PayPal link, and that they can reach out if they're so moved, they can absolutely do that. So tell me about Chant Your Heart Open, because we've gone around into a bunch of different things. Tell me about that. What is it?
Well, what is it? It's a musical where event experience where participation is really important. That wherever I go play online or in person, it's that everyone who's involved sings along and participates. And so and that's why the Chant Your Heart Open is also part of the festival, the Sacred Sexual Music Festival, is that music is so healing, and we have so much healing to do around our sexuality that and music makes it safe and supports healing and openness. And so Chant Your Heart Open, well, it came out of being in love with Kundalini yoga years ago. And I tried all the yogas, the hot yoga, the Ashtanga, all the kinds. And I don't like any. I'd rather play tennis. But when I did Kundalini yoga, I loved it. It was so just steeped in spirituality and ritual and music. Music was integral to that form of yoga. And I just loved it. And I loved the mantras. And yeah, I became a teacher and learned more about the mantras, and then felt qualified that I could finally bring it out into the world. So I do not only Kundalini yoga, I sing English songs and with mantras, as you've heard, just about being safe. And also some of the mantras are in what's called the language is called Gurmukhi, which is out of India. But mostly I'd say the songs that I offer are English.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And do you have anything any of the chants, and I'll try to do my part. Any chants for us? Anything that you normally would do in that realm?
That I would do. Oh, I kind of had ready for English ones. Let me see what I have.
It can be whatever you give us something. Give us something with something.
Just an idea. Okay, let me look in my little notes. I'm not even thinking. Oh, Guru Ram Dass. I've got one that I really love to sing. Guru Ram Dass is the fourth Sikh in the fourth guru in the Sikh lineage. And
Okay.
I've always felt drawn to him. He's like, he's got the same compassion energy like Kuan Yin, all these deities. So I've always loved him. He always vibrated, felt a beautiful vibration from him. Okay, I'm looking through all my songs here because I forget what notes I start on it. So I need my cheat notes. Let me find it.
No worries. I don't. You don't have to play one of the. I just. I know. I'm putting in requests on off the cuff. You whatever you have prepared. I know will be beautiful. So just that's okay. You feel free to put up whatever you'd like.
Okay. Well, I'm almost to the end. There we are. I found it. Okay. Okay. Would you like to hear? I'm going to change my tuning because I was ready for. Let me just.
As I throw you a curveball.
No worries. No worries at all. I love to do this song. It's. Well, in the Kundalini Yoga world, we get up at 4 in the morning or something. I can assure you I don't do this every morning. But it's called sadhana. And you can do it in the middle of the day you want. But they say that early in the morning is the nectar, the best time for meditating. So we sing these same 7 chants every morning. And this is one of them. And every musician that loves Kundalini Yoga will figure out their own melody. So this is the melody I came up with. And it's about Guru Ram Dass. And it's all about, he just vibrates with such compassion. Guru, Guru, hey Guru, Guru Ram Dass, Guru. Guru, Guru, hey Guru, Guru Ram Dass, Guru, Guru, Guru Ram Dass, Guru. I invite you not to get too worried about the guru part because that can be kind of nervous, make people nervous. But it's really, when you take the word apart, guru means dark and ru means light. So it's anything that brings you from the dark to the light. It could be a person, could be nature, could be swimming. So try this one with me. Guru, Guru, hey Guru, Guru Ram Dass, Guru, 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 hey Guru, Guru Ram Dass, Guru. Ram, Guru.
there's a peace. You can feel there's a sacredness and peace to your music. And that's what I love from the moment that I heard it. There's an intention that's more than the words. And music moves me often to tears. I cry at music all the time because there's a vibration to it that is really, it brings me to a different place. So you have a gift that I encourage people to look for what makes you feel. And your music does that, and it's such a gift that you have, that you bring to the world, like this background. That's why I always choose it for this, because there's a joy in it. It's bringing your light forward. It's there, and you do it every time you sing. So I'm so grateful you're here bringing that forth. And what's your experience? How has it been for you, someone who's so used to being in the crowds, in front of people, out there in the world, over the past year and a half, where it was a lot more limited? What was your experience over shutdown?
Well, it wasn't all that different for me, frankly, because I'm quite a bit of an introvert. So, frankly, Gina, it was not that different. I know it's challenging for a lot of people, and sure, I'm looking forward to anything opens up. The border opens, the everything, and it's been a time of reflection, so I can extra reflection. And what about you, Gina? You seem more like an extrovert. You love to be around people and love to be out and about. How was it for you?
What's funny is that as time's gone on, I realize I'm not as much of an extrovert as I used to be. I didn't know how not to be, because when you are playing the active role, and that's really what it comes down to, is the role. When we're playing these roles, sometimes there's no time for anything else. And that's one of the things that I realized. For me, I didn't know how to slow down. This month, I just wanted to share, Anita Mujani, I believe is the way you say it, is a Science of Mind magazine for this month, and she's on the cover. And she had said, if she had a beautiful article in here, but there's a mantra that she offered, and it's, "I am a soul, not a role."
Wow.
And I read that, and I was just flipping through the page, and I'm like, it really took my breath away, because so often, we get caught up in who we are as if we're these roles that we play, whether we're someone's daughter or somebody's parent or friend, or all the things we're supposed to do. We're an employee, all of these things. But the truth is, we are a soul that is infinitely free, and it needs to be honored. And the more that I honor myself and my space and my story, the more alone time that was needed.
Interesting.
So, I realized that it was easier to fix you than it was to try to look at me. So I chased my own tail for most of my life, because I was so busy. How could I take care of me? Because it was easier to look outward than in, because I didn't know how to look in. So,
Wow.
I didn't know. You cannot know what you don't, what you weren't taught. It's
Right.
just that simple. And, it was through grief and loss that I knew there had to be something more, and something more was calling, and that's where things opened up for me. So when it came to shutdown, I don't know that it was so much isolation, but I was in the house a lot. Like, there were weeks that there were times that it was a week that I didn't go out. And that's not healthy in a variety of ways. And it wasn't so much, I wouldn't use the word fear, and I did do it for precaution. And at the same time, it was too easy. It was too easy to just not go out. Between Zoom and everything else, it was too easy. And convenience is something that I think in our country is dangerous. Everything's so easy to get, and I know you're in Canada. I mean, in general, our society, I guess it's the same. It's not just in the U.S., but especially here, everything's at your fingertips, and everything is, especially on the East Coast, everything's like, we want it now, we want it yesterday, very impatient. We tend to be known as a little pushy, just a little, and a little fast paced. So I'm so used to that pace until I couldn't anymore. And then,
Right.
like, for me, the only way I stopped was cancer. Two cancer,
Wow.
two cancer surgeries. I had over a dozen tumors in my kidneys for taking care of everyone else but me. So
Wow.
and then from that, I couldn't, after the surgeries, there were, complications, and it changed my entire life. And while uh, the pain of it or the road of it, I would have never chosen, who I am today is a gift because of it.
Wow.
So sometimes the road that seems horrible is exactly the one we need to go down.
Wow. That's incredible awareness. You're sharing. What a journey. Well.
The gifts, like, so many gifts.
Hmm.
Anyone that knew me would never have thought, but it's so important to know, are you really happy? I always ask people that too. Is it an act?
Hmm.
Is it a role that we're playing? How often do we react in a way we think people want us to?
Yeah.
As with your music, you're a storyteller.
Hmm.
You share from your heart, your life's experience. And I have poetry. For me, that's how it comes out, is poetry. So
Beautiful.
I love the story.
Hmm.
So please tell us another story.
Another story, a musical one, I'm imagining you're asking.
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's a story, and so many of us, I can imagine, will relate, is in getting involved in a relationship. Like I was saying, when I stopped doing music when I was married, and just the challenges of being connected intimately. And so here's a song about that, and then it's going to give open into a mantra that I hope you'll join me. There's a hollow in this heart. There's an empty ricochet. I'm wanting for it to be filled. I'm waiting for the break of day. And all the while, I'm wanting to reach out to you, like the rose conceals the thorn, like the daisy and that rhyme, where the petals are picked off for love one at a time. And all the while, I'm wanting to reach that place with you. And all we're needing is to climb that great divine, where words and time lose meaning. When you look me in the eyes, I see your soul in your eyes, in your eyes. I see your soul in your eyes, in your eyes. in your eyes, in your eyes, I see your soul. In your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes.
And we truly do. We hold our souls. They are reflective. You know, I have a poem actually called Lighthouse, because that is that light. We are those lighthouses, you know, and we don't realize it, but it is our job to be that welcoming to others in their storm. And we get to do that. That light can do that. We can comfort each other. We can be kind. You know, even in that first song, The House of Healing, that you did, that, you know, when when you look at someone, you honor them, just seeing them and saying good morning and, you know, caring about someone, it means so much. You know, I had done, there's a friend of mine that's experiencing, and, you know, the healers are always the ones that we need to nurture as well, because so many healers end up giving away what their own, you know, we need to make sure we're filling our cup before we give it away or we deplete ourselves. And this was someone that, you know, we were giving back to. And I got flowers. I got a beautiful, actually, and an angel, a plant just today, that just, when we give and receive, it's amazing. Like, it's amazing when we give and receive. Yeah. But how often are we allowing ourselves to really be seen? Vulnerability is such a gift that we give to the people that we meet, the people that we love. Granted, we need to know our boundaries. We don't want to, we don't need to put our whole heart out there to any and everyone, in the sense of, but at the same time, if we don't step into the game of life, we get nothing from it. We need to live in that authenticity of who we really are, not the roles that we play, but the soul that needs to live in that joyful place. And that's what feels good. What's your experience with that?
Being in the joyful place. Yeah, I know. The only thing, well, the main thing that's stopped me from being in my most joyful place is when I'm not feeling safe, for whatever reason, whether I'm being hard on myself, whether, you know, just telling me something is up for healing.
And it's so funny that you say that, because so many of us overlook it.
Yeah. We think, oh, of course we're safe. There's no bombs dropping on us. Of course we're safe. No, there's a deep safety that it seems everyone I speak with anyway seems to really relate. So yeah.
I spent the first half of my life, I would say, well, first at least 20, yeah, I'm 48 now. I would say the first 24 years of it, I didn't acknowledge fear. Wow. I wouldn't allow myself, and it wasn't consciously.
Yeah.
I wouldn't allow myself to acknowledge fear. I couldn't allow myself. So if there was something to do, I did it. And I didn't think about whether or not I could or should. I just did. And I know for me, it went around because of my weight, because there was that insecurity. And if I acknowledged any insecurity, it would break down and I wouldn't be able to do what I needed to do. So I just did and didn't think about it. So denial became my armor that I walked around the world in. And it served in the sense that I did things that many others wouldn't. But it didn't serve in the sense that it allowed that addiction of food for me. That was my drug of choice. Everybody has their own
Yeah.
outlet there, and that's something that is so important to remember. Everyone has their outlet, whether
Yeah.
it's being a workaholic, whether it's anger or rage, or some people use sex, some people use drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be. Some people use money and power.
Yeah.
Everybody has something, and that there's no judgment in that. It's simply awareness,
Yeah.
so that we can live without the facade, that we can be in joy without false cheerfulness. That's what I lived my life in. It was that
Mm.
that hollow, false cheerfulness.
Mm.
Your music, when you sing it, is so pure. It's your
Mm.
heart. You you
Mm.
you sing from your heart space, and it's so authentic. It's beautiful,
I
and
thank you.
I honor that, because you put yourself, and artists in general, you're putting yourself out in the world, and it is such a gift, but it's also an outlet. It's such a healthy outlet as well.
Mm. Well, yes, for sure. It's been big part of my healing, and I think it's so beautiful, Gina, when you talk about that you cry with songs and you feel really moved. Well, that just tells me your heart is open. That's you're like a human being, and you're allowing yourself to be a human being. How beautiful is that?
Not a human doing. I used to be
No.
that. No, really, I used to spend more time doing than being.
Yeah. Well, what a great awareness.
And
Beautiful.
we each get an opportunity, and there's wisdom. It's not just about age,
Yeah.
because there's plenty of people that the time passes, it doesn't make them wise, it just makes them older.
Yeah.
There's wisdom in, sometimes it's in seeming failures, sometimes it's through pain, and sometimes it's just through doing what we do. But it's looking for what's going to make this different. Where's the good in this? Not trying to escape the pain,
Right.
but being where we are authentically.
Mm.
And through your festival, you are doing that. When you chant your heart open, you're doing that. You are being in that place where you are right here, right now, present in what is life. So it's beautiful.
Well, thank you, Gina. I can assure you I have my challenges and struggles. I continue to work with, as I mentioned last time I was talking to you, I have a beautiful teacher, and and I had told you the name of the website, thewayoftheheart.com, I believe is .com. And she also has one specifically for her, Dorothy Becker. And let me think if I can, Spirit's Call. That's it, Spirit's Call. And let me see if I can share it, because she's been just miraculous for me. She's
Mm-hmm.
such a wise, I highly recommend everybody have a teacher or somebody that,
Yes.
you can reflect off of. Like, call Gina. Gina, you are an amazing. I know
You're very sweet. I actually, if anyone has any questions for me, though, they can reach out to me, because it's hard to believe, but it's almost an hour. You can reach me at gina@believeinyoutaday.com. And I am here for life coaching or spiritual coaching, as well as, if there's, as far as, even just sessions, practitioner sessions, whatever it may be. I wanted to mention that, but I also wanted to mention again, this is your PayPal, that if anybody wants to help this beautiful music to be available to the world, please, this is how to go about that. You can go to Chant Your Heart Open for that link as well, chantyourheartopen.com. Also, I encourage you to look you up on YouTube, because you do have several videos on YouTube as well. And
Yes.
take a look at our Peace Circle from a couple of weeks ago. What a gift, it is to have live music. Is a beautiful thing anyway. And what just the fact that we're on, think about it, we're in different countries, how far away, and it's like you're in my living room. And the gift of the internet is you're in everybody's living room. And we get to pay attention to what we choose. So it's so important that we give to what nourishes us. You know, and that's one of the things when it comes to the center, because find me on Facebook at under either my name or CSL Greater Boston, and I always say times, treasures, and talents. So you tithe and you give back in whatever way you can. But I truly believe that it's important that we give to what nourishes us. So again, I encourage you to, reach out and gets, as far as to Wendy. And you also write songs, so if anybody has a loved one they want you to write a song for, a one-of-a-kind song, what better gift is there than to give someone their own song, which is exciting too. I think that's wonderful. So
Yeah,
I
little
wanted to put
jingles.
I wanted to put that out there as well. There's so much fun and good in the world. It's all what we're looking at. And, I'm blessed to be part of this beautiful network where we are here because of this platform, ntmedia.org. And again, all you have to do is go to ntmedia.org and hit donate. We have a prayer team here, which I'm also blessed to be a part of, where you can prayer at ntmedia.org, and you have ministers and practitioners praying for you. There is so much good in the world, but we need people to find it. So any last comments on your music, anything else that you'd love for us to know on this joyful journey?
I'd love you to feel safe and I can just play this in the background. You are safe, and you can either sing along with me.
You know what? I've said everything that I need to, and I'm grateful that everyone is here. So give us a quick song on the way out. It can be anything you want.
Okay, well, I'm going to just say goodbye and thank you so much, Gina, with You Are Safe. So we've played it already, so you know how it goes, so please sing along. Now there is a delay, so everybody at home, or Gina, you'd probably have to go on mute because you're going to come in a few seconds after me, which is fine.
Blessings and love, everyone. It is a joyful journey.
Yay. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you. You are safe. Yes, you're safe. Rest into my love for you. You are safe. You are safe. Rest into my love for you.
You are safe and blessed, and I thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. Enjoy this joyful journey. Blessings and